Okay, so I have not kept up with this. I have not done any of this. We are on. Oh God, what are we like? Week 14, week 15. Actually, I can look it up. I'm gonna look it up in the background here real quick. While I figure it out. We are gonna look at. We are at week 15. Okay, perfect. We're gonna look at the playoff picture as it is right now. There are 4 teams. I'll just pull it up as I talk here and kind of intro. Um, 4 teams so far. We got a whole bunch of teams to talk about right on the or in the hunt, on the cusp, whatever you want to talk about. A little bit different of a setup. Obviously, I'm in a different spot recording videos. I might still record down in my basement now, but I just want to do something different, change it up a little bit. So we'll talk about these 4 teams here. So obviously these are the top 2 teams in the AFC and the NFC right now, with the Lions and Chiefs, both number 1 seeds right now, both at 12-1. And honestly, I know Eagles fans are gonna be like, oh yeah, we can still win the 1 seed. We're still gonna get the 1 seed. I think the 1 seed's locked right now. I really do. I think the Chiefs they have a 2-game lead on the Bills, and I know it's technically like 1.5 or whatever because obviously the Bills just beat them 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I can't remember, bro. But I don't know if I see the Lions losing. Maybe if they bench their starters week 18, but I feel like Dan Campbell is going to be like, you know what? I don't want to do that. We're going to make sure they're good to go. We'll be rested and whatever, because obviously they're going to play in the division round. They won't have to play in the wild card round if they, win the 1 seed. So he'll probably be like, you know what? We're going to have a week off for the wild card anyway, so we're going to go ahead and play week 18. We're going to dominate. We're going to put up 78 points on whoever they play. I don't know who they play week 18. So I don't know if I can pull up. I don't know if this won't show up. I'm just gonna kind of in the background here. If this loads, I passed them. Oh, it does. It's Detroit. They go by Detroit, not Lions. Let me go profile here. I don't know if they really lose another game. So as I was saying before, I think they might. Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's see. They have the Bills, which is going to be a tough game. They have the Bears, which I don't know. Maybe with their interim head coach right now, maybe the Bears can win. The Bears should have beat all 3 NFC North teams. By the way, they should have. But Bills, Bears, and then 49ers. They're the night game against the 49ers. And I know technically they were the NFC championship game last year. So I don't know. Lions can easily win out. They really easily can win out. So Chiefs again could just beat up anybody. And I mean, they got black magic on their side. They said, we don't want the refs anymore. We're going supernatural. We're going back to the 1600s. This is Salem. We're just, we're the witches. We're just going to kill everyone. We're going to get away with murder. We're going to get away with whatever witches do, all their magic they use, their seances and everything they do. And they said, we're going to the Super Bowl again, and we're going to win for a 3rd year in a row, which I will not be happy about. But, that's just how the Chiefs are. They're you think they were going to regress when Tyreek Hill left? They did not. They somehow just stayed really consistent and have been like top 1, 2, 3 seeds for the past 6 years or so, something like that. Well, maybe not in 2018. I don't remember what seed they were when they won the Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl in was it 2018, 2019, whatever it was. But they've been consistently at the top of the AFC forever. So again, I just think they're locked, which would lock probably Eagles and Bills here at 2, because if we go down to the 3 seeds, so obviously, division leaders who just absolutely suck in the NFC, you go from 12-1 to 11-2, down to 8-5 for Seattle and 7-6 for the Bucks. We're just be happy that the NFL is like, okay, we need 1 team from every conference in there, because if not, it would probably be the Vikings. It would be the Vikings it would then be the Packers at the 4 seed, and then you'd obviously have like Seahawks and Commanders at right below them. So like, and then obviously like Bucks would probably be like 7 seed or whatever here. So like just be happy if you're an NFC West fan or an NFC South fan that one of your teams represents, one of your teams gets in, and like it's the NFC. And I'm going to make a video on this too. I've been meaning to make a video on this for probably 2 months now, but the NFC literally flipped on a dime and suddenly became the better conference. Now, you look at like Steelers and, Texans and Ravens, like, okay, well, what the heck? Like, that's not possible, blah, 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 blah. But like Chargers have a new head coach. Broncos just came out of nowhere. Colts, are doing Colts things. Like Dolphins, I never really believed in, and then the Bengals are just absolutely falling apart. I mean, you look again, Seahawks right now, which again they're 8-5, but they're doing decent. They would literally slide in here at like the fifth or sixth seed, fifth, sixth or seventh seed. Like Vikings are doing way better this year, which I got to make a video on them because I literally had them winning. I think it was like 4 or 5 games max. And they're 11-2. I did not see Sam Darnold just coming out of nowhere and just being like, "Oh, I see a ghost. Oh, wait, that's an opposing team. Never mind." And just throws it to Justin Jefferson or whoever, and just they scorch every team they play. Packers 9-4 doing like so. Like, there's just a lot of good teams outside the bubble. You have Rams who are hot. You just beat the Bills. And then you just beat the Niners and didn't score a stupid touchdown at all on Thursday Night Football. I don't know. Football is wild. Apparently, the Rams-Niners game from Thursday night was the first game of the season without a single touchdown being scored. We went 15 weeks with at least every one team in every game scoring a touchdown. 15 weeks. We get week 15, and the Rams and Niners are like, okay, I don't want to play. And they just quit, just like Devondre Campbell did. I'm going to make a video on him, too, because, soft. You're a bum. I'm getting way off topic. Falcons, they started out real hot. They really did, and then struggled. Cardinals started out real hot and then struggled. And then Niners kind of up and down, up and down. Saints are looking a lot better since firing the head coach. And obviously, then we get, the bad teams right here, the terrible teams, the teams that, absolutely should not deserve a spot, do not deserve to be in the playoffs at all. They can go ahead and go sit on the couch. Just, get out of here with that, so like, but it's crazy how there's still 15 teams in the NFC that are, vying for a playoff spot. And there's only 10 in the AFC. Literally on the bubble, there's 3 teams here, 3 teams. And I mean, if the Bengals lose this week, they have a less than 1% chance, and then you're down to like these 2 teams. But like, I don't know if like these 2 teams, maybe Colts could. I don't, obviously the Texans are. Let's see, what are they? About 2 games. I don't remember who won in their divisional matchup, so I don't know. But again, basically 3 teams here, but Bengals I don't see making it. Maybe if they, I don't know. Like, they need a lot of help. But look at this. Browns eliminated, Jags eliminated, Jets eliminated, Titans eliminated, Patriots eliminated, Raiders eliminated. And over here, surprisingly, the Giants are eliminated, but the Panthers are still in playoff contention. Now, I absolutely love that the Panthers benched Bryce Young. Again, I'm just like, there's a million videos I could make because I love that they benched Bryce Young, had Andy Dalton start for a few weeks, and then I believe it was a car crash, which sucks. If you're Andy Dalton, you finally get a start again after I don't know how long being a backup for places, and then you get into a car crash. Bryce Young was like in contact with a bunch of former players and a bunch of other people and whatever while he was being a backup. He's come back to be a starter, and it's looked a lot better. I absolutely love that you sit a rookie quarterback, let him sit there, learn, and then you throw him out there. And, oh, look at that. He's better than if you just throw him out to the Wolves right away. So I could honestly see Bryce Young turning his career around and actually, like, maybe the next 2 or 3 years, maybe they're fighting for, like, the 6th or 7th seed. And, Panthers aren't one of those teams right now that's like going to be a Super Bowl team, but they might be able to sneak into the playoffs here in like 2 to 3 years. Like they really do. Especially again, you get Bryce Young learning a lot more. I don't know what was told to him. But like there was, people that came out online that were like, hey, like Bryce Young contacted me. He did apparently. And again, they're doing a lot better. He's playing a lot better than what he was, before being, benched. So I love that. Caleb Williams, I can see being a really good future QB if the Bears know what they're doing, but the Bears don't know what they're doing. Cowboys suck. Saints, again, we'll see how they go with their whoever they choose for head coach next year. Niners, I don't know what to think about them. Like, I really don't. They literally go Super Bowl, worst team in the league. Super Bowl, worst team in the league. Super Bowl, worst team in the league. And they lose the Super Bowl, worst team in the league. Lose the Super Bowl, worst team in the league. Like, I don't know how to think about them. They have star power on their freaking roster, and they can't get over the hump of losing or beating their dads, the Kansas City Chiefs. They lose to them all the time. I think they've lost them, like, is it 2 times or 3 times in the Super Bowl? I mean, their dads just literally run the league, just literally obliterate them anytime they get the chance. But besides them, like the Niners just look like they can beat anyone, and then they just face their dads and just absolutely suck. So, I don't know what to think about them. They have star power. Christian McCaffrey, I don't like. He got injured again this year. I know he has since come back, I believe. 2 weeks? I think he's back 2-3 weeks. I can't remember. But like he's still injury prone, but he's really good when healthy. But even with that addition, they're still sitting at 6-8 right now. So I don't know what to think about them. Cardinals, I don't know what to like. I don't have much to say about the Cardinals because they've always just been kind of like this team that's just like flattened out at like a decent team, but then just like never does anything. Like what was that in 2019 or 20? Was that 2021 when they started out 7-0? My Packers beat them, and then they obviously fell and became trash. And then next year, it's like, okay, well, good, start there, and then they didn't do as good as they would. And I don't think they make the playoffs that year. I don't know. I think they lost to the Rams that next season. I don't remember. It's been a blur. That's like 3 years ago now, so it's insane. Falcons again. They started off good, really good at the beginning of the year, but I've talked about this hundreds of times. It's December football versus September football are 2 totally different animals. They're completely different. So you can start out real good at the beginning of the season and then completely fall apart. And that's, again, kind of what the Cardinals did in that 2020 or 2021 season, whatever it was. So the Steelers famously started 11-0 in 2020 and then lost to the Commanders and just died from there. So, and like, again, Rams are the perfect example. You're getting hot, absolutely frying teams, absolutely looking good. You may not put up a touchdown against the division rival, but you're winning games. So there's like, I think the Rams could sneak in here to the 7th seed. Especially again, if the Commanders lose, I believe that puts them up there. But they're sitting at a 51% chance. Commanders can go from 78 to 87 if they win. I don't know. Oh, right there. They face New Orleans this weekend, which they should be able to get in with, possibly if they lose, 59%. And then I don't know if the Rams jump up. Oh, I don't know. I did that. I don't know if the Rams jump up from the 7th seed for, obviously week 16, heading into week 16 or not. But like these 2 teams are probably going to be fighting for that. I mean, the NFC North as a whole, well, because the Bears showed flashes. So, I want to say as a whole because the Bears did show real good flashes early on in the season. But again, September football, December football. Bears are falling off. They fire their head coach, blah, 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 Bear things. The rest of the NFC North is killing each other. If you don't count divisional games between, I think it's, if I remember the stat correctly, I think the stat is the Vikings, the Bears, or not the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions are 28-3 outside of the division. 28-3, 30-3, whatever it is. They are decimating each other in this division. Packers are 1-2. Sorry, they beat the Bears. They're 1 no. I'm sorry. We play the Lions twice. Packers are 1-3 in the division. Vikings are 2-1, I believe, and then I believe the Lions are 4 and who did? I can't. I got to remember who they lost to. I think they lost early on this year. Can I see? Let's see if I can find this. I'm just gonna look at this real quick. I'm trying to remember who they lost to. That's preseason. Oh, the Bucks! Oh my God, that was week 2. Jeez. Okay, yeah, that was week 2. They lost to the Bucks. Wow. So they're on what, a 13-game win streak? They're on a 13-game win streak. Holy crap! Yeah, so I believe Lions are 4-0. I believe it is. No, it's got to be 5-0 because they only have the Bears left for division rival. So, the NFC North is just like outside. If you don't count like the division games, they're absolutely killing everyone else. It's looking like all 3 teams are going to make the playoffs. Vikings basically can, I think. They can this week, I believe. I think Packers possibly can this week. I don't remember. But like NFC North, like we're gonna have probably 3 teams. Like it's probably gonna be 5 and 6. Because the Packers and Vikings still have to play each other one more time. And if Vikings lose another game, and before or around the time they play the Packers, then again that can bounce some Packers up to 5th seed and Vikings out of 6. Blah 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 blah. But it's looking like Packers and Vikings are just going to be sitting here at 5 and 6. Whoever wins the head to head. If Vikings win head to head, they're going to get the 5th seed. If Packers win head to head, then it makes it a little more interesting for Packers to get that 5th seed. But otherwise, it's really going to be really interesting to see what happens. And I think it's funny. So Packers play the Seahawks this coming week, week 15. If Seahawks win the division here, so they can stay ahead in the 4th seed, then basically they're just going to go right back to Seattle in about a month's time. So, we go to Lumen Field here this week for a night game. And then imagine if they make it another night game against the Seahawks. That'd be insane. But yeah, that's how it would shake out because it would be Vikings, Bucks, Vikings on the road. Commanders would go play the Eagles on the road. Oh, my God. NFC East football in Philly. Oh, woo! That would be something. Yeah, and that's how it would shake up here. So I know I've kind of dominated like the NFC side. I mean, there's just way more to talk about the NFC side. Like Steelers, they're 10-3. But like I don't know. Like they're gonna make the playoffs. Oops, I didn't mean to. I hit spacebar. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team. Texans are looking real good, but I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team. Ravens started out real hot, but again, December football, second half of the year, and faltering a little bit here. And then I don't really trust the Chargers to make the Super Bowl. I don't really trust the Broncos. If the Broncos make the Super Bowl with a rookie Bo Nix, who I don't know anyone. I don't even know if Broncos fans are like, yeah, we're going to make the Super Bowl with Bo Nix in his rookie year. I don't know about that. But if the Broncos can stay in the hunt and you can stay in the 7th seed, anything is possible. You get to the dance. You're at the dance. You go ahead and you just do what you got to do to get as far as you can. Beat who you can beat. Obviously, they fought against the Kansas City Chiefs, so if they can right now, week 15, they would be fighting. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if they're going to make it past the Bills right now. Maybe they want to try to get the 6th seed so they can go play the Steelers instead of the Bills, because I think the Bills are probably going to be gunning for those Chiefs, and they're going to have the Chiefs on their mind the whole rest of this year in the postseason, saying we beat them in the regular season, but we haven't beat them in the postseason in a while, have never beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. And they're going to be gunning for that AFC Championship game, which would be in Arrowhead, which I believe they played in Buffalo 2-3 weeks ago. So it'd be a way different animal playing in Arrowhead than it obviously would be at home for the Bills. But like these 2 teams I can see make the playoffs. Really? Like Eagles obviously could. Like they obviously could. They can make it by, especially if the Eagles don't have to go on the road and the Lions like lose to the Vikings or the Packers, in that divisional round. Like I could like Lions I could easily see just bypassing everything. But Eagles, I'm not as like high on them as I am these other three teams right here. So we'll see. Again, they're 11-2. Like, I'm not discounting them. I'm not saying they're not going to, but like, I think the better odds are for the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Lions. There's been literally rumors coming out saying, hey, like, everybody hates each other in these Eagles locker rooms. So we hate the coach. We hate, players. We hate everyone. We hate staff. Well, staff is coaches, but so like, I could see an internal collapse just decimate the Eagles in the postseason, and they could be one and done, or they could make a run to the NFC Championship game where, again, it'd probably be facing off against the Lions. Unless for some reason, again, with divisional football and you have three NFC North teams, if the Vikings or the Packers somehow knock off the Lions, first of all, we're all going to laugh at the Lions because you go like 15-1 or 16-1 and you lose to a division rival in the divisional round at home. We're going to, laugh our asses off at you. But if that happens, it just easily opens up the door for the Eagles to make it. I think they'd be the second best team in the NFC. Yes, they're better than the Vikings. Yes, they're better than the Seahawks and the Bucks and the Packers, than the Commanders. They're better than the Rams. And obviously they're better than everyone else here. So, but yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season here. Obviously, again, we have 4 teams locked. There's a bunch of playoff clinching scenarios, which it doesn't really talk about in here. What I will do is like week 17, week 18 is if for whatever reason there's more than like, the 6 and 7 seed are open. If there's still division championships for, like if these two here are still open, we'll do a video covering the last 2 weeks here and seeing who can get in, who can get out, what needs to happen, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to do anything like that. I just want to kind of look at the playoff picture here, since I just haven't done that in a while. And really my tier list, which again, I didn't really do. Well, I kind of did a mid-season tier list, but it's really changed a lot. Like, I had the Commanders up a lot higher, and they have since just kind of, fallen off. But if they make the playoffs still, you go right to Philly if you keep that 7 seed. So, and it's looking that way because Packers, I think, could win another game or two. Vikings could possibly win out. I don't know if I don't have their schedule memorized. So basically, like, you're looking at these two teams here who, again, the Packers are a game ahead of you. But again, their schedule, they have the Saints, and then I don't know who they have. They probably have like the the Cowboys and the Eagles or someone left. So it might be a harder, end of, divisional schedule there for them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you make the dance, just like I said with the Broncos. Anything is possible. You can do anything in the world. You got Jayden Daniels, who probably is my rookie of the year. I don't know, because Bo Nix has literally changed like everything. Like, it didn't look like he was that good in September. October came around and they just skyrocketed and became a better team. Again, they were probably like, I had them probably projected to win like 3-4 games as well. Like, this is why you don't listen to analysts, you don't listen to these people, blah, 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 because they don't know what they're talking about. Because we get to like week 15 here and the Vikings are 11-2. No one had the Vikings like this good at all. No one. Not even the fans were like, oh, okay, whatever. Maybe we'll, hope to get like 7 wins or something. They're 11-2. So this is why you just throw logic out the window for everything. You don't listen to anything in the offseason. Everything that happens in the offseason does not mean crap at all. Nothing. Don't take any advice from people. Don't listen to anything. Like, there's nothing that, usually, because obviously, again, we knew the Lions were going to be good. But that's, like, if you're talking literally basically mid-tier teams and below, they should be good. Now, obviously, top-tier teams have collapsed. Again, like I mentioned with the Niners before. Super Bowl, bust. Super Bowl, bust. Super Bowl, bust. So, again, it can happen to good teams, but I really don't think, like, the good teams here this year are going to falter. I think they're going to be, again, in playoff contention, in AFC Championship contention, in Super Bowl contention. So, get that off the screen. Nope, get that. So, we are 24 minutes in. I know it's kind of a longer one. Again, I just have not been around and have not talked a lot about this. But for now, I am out of here. Again, if there's a lot of, playoffs clinching scenarios like week 17, week 18, I will come back and we'll do that. If it's only like this team can win the 7th seed if they, beat this team, and if someone other team loses, then it's like, okay, maybe I'll make like a short or something. I could just do I could do a short on that if like everything else is locked up except for like, again, 6 or 7 seed or 7 seed only. So, but yeah, look forward to something either a small video, or we'll go, in depth and talk about every single team that still has a spot here at the end of the year, which is about 2 weeks away. We're coming up to the end of the year. Both literally the end of the year with New Year's starting, and then in about 2-3 weeks, and then we have end of football season, which are the regular season, I should say, with playoffs coming in January as well. So again, I'm out of here. Peace. As I find the end button. Peace.